Some might argue for Usain Bolt or Michael Phelps when it comes to selecting the greatest male Olympian of all time, but arguably nobody made a greater impact or personified Olympic values than Jesse Owens. Owens was born in 1913 in Alabama and faced discrimination and poverty throughout his childhood. He discovered his talent for running at a young age and went on to break several world records in track and field. But his most remarkable achievement was at the 1936 Berlin Olympics, where he won 4 gold medals and defied Hitler's propaganda of white supremacy. Jesse Owens not only changed black history, but also the history of sports and human rights. How did Jesse Owens defy the odds and become one of the greatest athletes of all time? Jesse Owens was the youngest of 10 children born to Henry Cleveland Owens, a sharecropper, and Mary Emma Fitzgerald in Oakville, Alabama, on September 12, 1913. He was the grandson of a slave. At the age of 9, he and his family moved to Cleveland, Ohio for better opportunities as part of the Great Migration from 1910 to 1940, when 1.6 million African Americans left the segregated and rural South for the urban and industrial North. When his new teacher asked his name to enter in her roll book, he said JC, but because of his strong Southern accent, she thought he said Jesse. The name stuck, and he was known as Jesse Owens for the rest of his life. As a youth, Owens took different menial jobs in his spare time. He delivered groceries, loaded freight cars, and worked in a shoe repair shop while his father and older brother worked at a steel mill. During this period, Owens realized that he had a passion for running. As a student in a Cleveland high school, Owens won 3 events at the 1933 National Interscholastic Championships in Chicago. In one day, May 25, 1935, while competing for Ohio State University in a Western Conference track and field meet at the University of Michigan, Owens equaled the world record for the 100-yard dash, 9.4 seconds, and broke the world records for the 220-yard dash, 20.3 seconds, the 220-yard low hurdles, 22.6 seconds, and the long jump, 8.13 meters. From almost the get-go, Owens seized the reins as the star of the 1936 Summer Olympics. He coasted to a gold medal in his first event, the 100-meter dash, and followed with a highly publicized victory over German champion Luz Long in the long jump, an event embellished by the tall tale of Long offering advice to help his opponent win. After setting an Olympic record in the 200-meter dash en route to a 3rd gold medal, Owens put the exclamation point on his showing by running the opening leg of a record-shattering U.S. 4x100 relay performance. He became the first American of any race to win 4 gold medals in track and field in a single Olympics, an achievement that stood unaccompanied until Carl Lewis matched him in 1984. Although it was largely reported that Hitler snubbed Owens for upstaging his prized Aryan athletes, in reality, he responded to a request to treat the winners equally and declined to publicly congratulate anyone after the first day of competition. Other reports indicated that the Führer did salute Owens from afar, possibly influenced by the adoring reception the athlete received from fans. As with the so-called Hitler snub, the narrative of the 1936 Olympics has been softened and simplified over the years. Despite the accomplishments of Owens and his teammates, Germany could still claim athletic superiority by winning the most medals. More crucially, the Games succeeded as a form of propaganda, spotlighting the Nazi Party as welcoming and orderly, even as it was on the precipice of launching another war and exterminating millions of Jews. On a personal level, the spotlight of the Olympics was an outlier in the career of Owens, who returned to the cold reality of being a black man in Great Depression-era America. His commercial opportunities failing to materialize, he was forced to race against horses and take on other demeaning jobs for years, until finally catching a break as a government ambassador in the 1950s. Still, the story of his triumphant showing in those games endures. While he didn't halt the machinations of the Nazi regime, Owens undoubtedly stole the spotlight from the host country's zealous leader. Furthermore, he showed that a black man could thrive with the eyes of the world upon him, an effort that paved the way for future African-American sporting stars like baseball's Jackie Robinson, and pushed the door open a little wider for the civil rights movement to eventually emerge.